It's early, right? What are we doing? Trying to prop you guys up on a pillow. I don't know. Give it a few minutes while I try to drink some water because that's what I'm going to do at this time. It's early for me. I guess it's not really early in the real world, but it's early for me. Good morning for everybody. It is 10:58, which is so crazy because I literally have to, how do you say that? Krishna 2020? Lakeisha, ooh, y'all are up early. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing up so early? Wow. Wow, I thought it was gonna be like hard to like get people to come in this early. Oh my goodness. Why are y'all up this early? Working? Yeah. I have been working like crazy. My work schedule is 12 to 8, and I stayed on until midnight. Safe Haven, good morning. Oh, P Poppy, good morning. Oh, it's a lot. Man, I'm getting more people this time of morning than I do regular. So my work schedule is 12 to 8, and I literally stayed online to midnight last night and then woke up because I had a meeting. Hey, Deb. Hey, Eclectic. Just saying hi. Watch you a lot. Never comment. My hands are off to occupy, but at this moment. Live Fuller, Love Fuller. I love that name, Live Fuller and Love Fuller. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. And that's kind of what this video is about, right? So I am going to give a shout out to Sugar Free TV. She has a smaller channel like me, and if you guys like this channel, you'll probably like her channel as well, as long as you're open-minded. Her real name is Shakira, and like I've been following her for years because I've been on YouTube for like 10 years, and she did a live late last night. I didn't catch it last night, and I say that because my work schedule is 12 to 8. I stayed working until midnight and then had to get up at 8:30 this morning for a meeting that was canceled due to tech issues. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put on my little tie-dye, put my mind in a different mind frame because it's not healthy for me just to wake up and get straight to work. I like it better when I walk outside. But if I don't get enough rest, I'm not going outside in the Texas heat. Like when I know that I'm tired, like I could sit here in my air conditioning slow drag and be productive. But so I was like, what can I do with my time? So started watching her video. Just to jump right into it, she's very knowledgeable. She was studying to be a doctor, so she knows a lot about physics. But she's also very, very spiritual and very, very well read. And she's like a keeper of facts. Like some people love to keep facts. It's from a jewelry store. I've had it for a long time. Um, yeah, it's just my style of jewelry. You can find jewelry like this, like at Saks and things like that, though. Like I do see them there. I can't remember the designer on it, but I have like a few of their pieces. So watching Sugar Free TV, and she used the term like a malleable reality, and that is something that I have really been confronted with. Sometimes we don't have the language, and it's so funny because if you guys used to watch my videos before, like when I used to just do my little short clippets and they were always cut off, it is all of these topics combined that are coming back to seem more tangible now. Like sometimes I used to feel like, oh, you're absolutely like weird or whatever for having these thoughts, but I never felt like I was weird. I always felt like there was something that was not being taught that we should be schooled upon. And I am talking about spirituality, but not in a religious way. And that's really important because what are you going to do when the churches are closed? As we can currently see, right? Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to turn into? And even just knowing that I have kind of groomed myself, it allows me to speak with passion and conviction on certain topics. And even this idea of reality being malleable, that sounds crazy to even think about, but we have seen it with our own eyes, like right now, especially like in the last 2 months, how what was true or normal yesterday could change today. And as you guys saw, like I came with a lot of fire, a lot of anger. I was really upset about things that I believe in not being true. Like even and she touched on like how we I say we commercialize ourselves as being the land of the free, but how we're taught repeatedly, we're free over here, we're free. But everything in the media points at us and lets us know that we're not really free. But life gives you these little sign markers along the way. And I remember one time going to church with somebody who was not a Christian, who had never been raised Christian, but they were in a very dark place mentally. Like they felt like that they wanted to commit suicide and they wanted to go to this pastor's church. Okay. They were a Caucasian person and they wanted to go to this black church that just, that I didn't know, never heard anything. And the word that day, I remember it, and I don't even remember the name of the church or the name of the pastor, but his message was how you could be free and not liberated. And that always stuck in me because how is it that you can be free but not really enjoying all of your rights? And I'm not just talking about what's going on right now, but if I could have had the same conversation 5 years ago when I first heard that, because you can take it all the way back to slavery days when it was signed that slaves were free, but people stayed on the plantations for generations. Generations. My grandfather, my mother's father, died on a plantation that all of our ancestors came down to that had been converted into a dairy farm. When we went to go bury him, the land that we were passing still said plantation on it. I was like, can they at least change the name? But he lived his life and allowed himself to live his life around that. And I'm just saying that for some frame of context, how you can be given your rights, but if you don't know what they are, and I'm not talking about just like your basic rights, or I'm not talking about your political rights. I am talking about your spiritual rights. Your spiritual rights to live a life without fear, without lack, without worry, with a full knowledge that you are from a creator, that there is provision, and that you will be provided for. I think that when we tap into that kind of mindset, we will see it manifest, and people call that the law of attraction. So they've taken little snippets and made it into something that's very materialistic. And we all struggle with that, bringing the spiritual into the material, but it's really important not on a money mindset or a material mindset, but to bring your spiritual into this material reality right now. Because this reality is changing, and what it is for me, it may not be for you. I'll be very real with you. I was really upset when the whole thing happened, and you guys know that I was like a very like economy person. Like I already knew this thing is going to tear our economy apart, like way more than the other things that they are putting out there. That's going to be the real big long lasting effect, because I just have the foresight to do that. I could just see through things clearly. And and and, and what's so funny is I know when I'm having a spiritual battle, okay? Anybody who's been through this whole quarantine thing, you've had some spiritual battles because there's so much unknown that we are now trying to know, and we're trying to piece together knowledge from something that we've never faced before. So what may make you afraid may not make me afraid. It does not mean that I don't have fear, but then I know that I operate under the principles that fear is not of God. Like the number one thing that's said in the Bible is be not afraid. These are our spiritual rights. I've been blessed to have a change to prove life because of this belief system. We are not made to believe. Oopsie, it went away. Oh man. We are not made to believe, to be enslaved or impoverished. I refuse to accept it. Struggle and my life changed because of it. Okay, I love that, Liv Fuller. Okay, so, right, you have the right to decide where you lie spiritually. I I cannot change you. You are allowing whatever changes to be made in your life, positive or negative. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm perfect. You guys know I love to have fun. I love to have a good time. I love to be emotional sometimes. Sometimes you have to go through the emotions of this human experience, but the spiritual experience is the umbrella above us, right? It's all around us. It's enveloping us. And I know that a lot of people are very, very tangible because we have been taught the tangible. Like we were going heavily hard into the aesthetic mindset. What does it look like around me? What does my background look like? You know, what do I need to do to improve this? How does this look to other people? We were strongly headed towards that. Now that we are forced to self isolate or be isolated, you're not looking in the mirror at yourself 24 hours a day. You can sit home funky for days and nobody probably gonna tell you until they get tired of it. You know, it's like you are free, truly free to develop your own mind and your own belief system. Something that I know that I have struggled with is not being angry in that process. I have a very strong, passionate side about me, and I get angry when I just feel like, how can you not see it? You know, it's just like sometimes, hey Tanya, sometimes a friend is like in a bad situation, and you can see that bad situation. Everybody around them can see the bad situation, but they don't see it. That kind of stuff infuriates me. It makes me so mad that I am the kind of person that will cut that friendship just so I don't have to be enraged by the stupidity that I feel like is there. That's something that I have to work on. And for me, I work on that through meditation. I'm not a person that sits here in the inside. I can't do that. I have to take my long walks or do something mindless. And it's like my brain shuts down and I'm in that little zone of peace and I'm able to think. And we all have to find, it is in our best interest. You don't have to do anything. It is in our best interest to find a zone of peace within us. And even like going back to the fear, that is not what we were designed to do. When a baby, and you know that because when you see children, they are born fearless. We as adults, we put the fear within them. A lot of times for their safety and sometimes for our own convenience. Sometimes it's just more convenient to have somebody afraid to break the rules or not speak out, so that one of my favorite words is it keeps people docile. And it is okay to be docile. What it is not okay with is for you to feel like that you are suffering in silence, without answers, without direction, and you don't know which way to turn. That's where the real spiritual core belief system comes in. That for me is like, no matter what I do, my faith is unshakable. And I'm not like one of the I feel like now is the time for people like me where I'm not your mother's Christian. I'm not my grandmother's Christian. I'm really thankful that I have those core values about character because I'm able to recognize those traits in people who don't even believe or worship anything like me. I can just see the God in them through their behavior. That's really important for me to get across because I know sometimes I keep telling you guys like I struggle with maintaining this channel because I know that I give you guys the full gamut. And for me, that is fun and it has been a serious release and I'm able to look back and judge myself and be like, ooh, I didn't like that about myself, or ooh, I need to get like more centered, more grounded in certain areas of my life. And you can watch different channels. Like sometimes I watch different people's lives and they're just talking about like their own thought process. And it's really interesting to see what people are thinking about. I told you guys repeatedly one of the best things that I did was I stopped watching the news a month ago. Like there's been no new news. Okay, if there's a highlight or an update, okay, I'll get it on the headlines. But I'm not going to saturate myself with these facts when a lot of it is sensationalized. We know this. We know, and I hope you know that you're not watching what how news was designed to be. You are now watching entertainment news. That's why they can keep it on 24 hours a day. For it to be news, it needs to be new. You need to hit me with an update like, okay, boom, on this day this is going to open. Okay, boom, on this day we can do this. Give me the facts. Don't give me your emotionality behind it. Give me the facts and let me use my own free, liberated mind to go forward. Okay? And I say that not just about this, because whatever this was or is, It's just the tip of the iceberg. And I don't care what you guys say. Like, people have put in my comments, oh, you're crazy. I stand behind what I said, and I know in my Noah that this was not the major threat. I said it from day one, and I'll say it to the day that I die. And I know that something bigger is coming that we have to be prepared for. Like, even when I was like laying up last night and, just talking to my boyfriend about all the time that we spent together and, building our relationship. And I've heard different things about other people's relationships where the opposite has happened. It's like, this has taught me about myself. It has also allowed me to be vulnerable in ways that I never would have been vulnerable before. Like, just like a little tidbit, like something as simple as a business trip. In the past, I'd be like, go on, whatever. Then now I'm like, oh no, you're not leaving me for 5 days. I'm coming. But for this situation happening, maybe I would not have seen the value of community, the value of family, the value of truth. And going back to like a malleable reality, it is very important for everybody to get crystal clear what they truly value, because there are going to be so many things that will make you shake that to the core. And I would even just say this about isolation. Like, this for me, this is on a personal level. Is it more important for me to live healthy and isolated when I know that I have a friend or a family member that's really lonely and needs companionship right now, like on a higher mental level? Like, they need somebody to come and check on them or to say hello. Now, I'm sitting here well and healthy. Should I just sit here and be like, oh, I'm not coming to you? I no, we're just not coming out right now. And then life goes on, and you never know what that little bit of companionship could have built. I feel like that we've built some really strong relationships during this time, and that's something that was never important to me. I always believe, my sister hates when I say like-minded people. Like-minded people are very important. Your mind will not be aligned with everybody for every single point. Even more important is the ability for yourself to sit quietly with your own thoughts, especially for things that anger you, put you in a panic, make you tired, make you frustrated, and really get behind that and figure out what is it that's frustrating me about certain things. Like, lately, like for the past month and a half, I have not been able to make plans. I'm just like, okay, I know I need to do these things. And then what will end up happening is I'll end up picking up the phone and then making it happen. But it's not like this very organized type of thing. I've kind of done away with a lot of organization in my life. And then that was making me mad, feel some kind of way. And I recognized, because I spend time with my inner self, that sometimes in your life you're not going to be organized. You're not going to be perfect. Your makeup's not going to be on. Your hair's not going to be on. Even on my job, I tell people, I'm like, look, I'm having a very human moment right now. We just gonna take a moment and breathe together, and then it breaks the ice. Like today, I'm having a very human moment. I didn't get enough sleep, but here I am. I'm going to make the best of my day. I have a lot to accomplish, and it's something that I'm wrestling with to contain my workday so that it doesn't take over my life, like so that I am able to cook dinner and to sit down at the table together and have that time. It sounds petty. Let me say that. These small little simple things sound so petty, but do you know how many relationships and businesses and networks can be saved if we slow down, take the moment, do what we can and have to do to survive, but also make and put the priority onto the people and to the things that are important for us to nurture. I cannot stress that like enough. And I feel, for me, I feel it so deeply, and I know it to be so true for me, is to trust your own intuition. Okay? Nor anybody else can be the voice from you when you are trying to navigate into uncertain territory. I also believe in questioning authority. You don't have to question it loudly or to people's faces, but if things don't sound right to you, you might want to wheel it back in, like me having a panic attack, like just getting so frustrated, like not like I can't even say panic attack because that's probably like a real medical definition, girl. But like like sometimes you get like that cabin fever type of feeling, and I literally feel like I can like eat the drywall. I'm like, get me out of here, and then what irritates me even the more is I go outside and I look around at what I'm seeing. I'm like, I don't even want to be here. This ain't even work. You know what? I don't. Oh no. So, and it's because everything has changed. And I even hate the phrase, but it is so true that I don't even want to say it, because I just don't want to even have like a negative connotation in this video. But let me phrase it, let me say it like this. My first talent in life is as a writer. I know people don't read anymore and things like that. People love stories. When people say, oh, that person is delusional, they're crazy, do you recognize that every time you watch a movie or go into a business, you are walking into somebody else's delusion? When I first went to college, because I feel like I went to college in many steps. When I first went to college, I wanted to do event planning. That was my love in life. I wanted to do big corporate events, conferences. They actually have a school for that in Orlando, the Rosen College. And the reason why it is in Orlando because it's Disney. Disney started the whole idea of atmosphere. Can you imagine that? Like, get deep into your mind. Could you imagine a time where atmosphere did not matter? Isn't that like amazing? Like outside of your home atmosphere, like where people had not studied how to create an artificial atmosphere. So the whole idea of restaurants, movie sets, and productions kind of bloomed around this idea, because if you really look back like in the early movies, they were kind of drab and dreary. It's when you get the imagination, and in the Disney world they call it imagineers. It's when you get people that take their imagination and they engineer it into something tangible that you can create an atmosphere. And that's one of my favorite Christian songs, is the atmosphere song. We're doing that in our own life, sometimes unconsciously. It is so important to bring that into our consciousness, that you have created the atmosphere that you live in. Like I said in my prior video, you have signed up for these things. You may not have signed up for the national event, but you are signing up for the emotionality behind it, or where you're putting your power to in the situation. You are signing up, negative or positive, for your next steps in this. You are signing up to be in a panic, to be in chaos, to be at peace, to know what triggers you, what sets you off. You are, and then if you ignore those things, because you can elect out, sometimes consciousness is elective, right? And that's where it gets really deep, to say, you know what? I may have this information that this might not be the best situation for me, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm just gonna keep it like this. That is our choice to do that. We may sit here and be like, well, I'm not gonna go any further. I'm gonna take life at face value. If you're watching this video at this point, I don't like to tell people what to do, but I am telling you, in this society where reality can bend and to shift, and people can set an atmosphere, and they have studied it like a science, that it is really important for you to recognize your own consciousness and the things that you truly believe. Taking it back more tangible for me, one thing that I was really afraid of when the whole thing happened was what was it going to do to the economy, because I started working after 9/11, and one of the first jobs that I ever had, I came in because they were doing a mass layoff. I didn't know that. That has forever shaped the way that I see corporations and that I see livelihoods, is that people have a very sick, false sense of security when it concerns what is really theirs, right? Like I remember, like I came into the workforce like right after Enron, when people had been working their whole lives and their retirement was taken away and they had nothing, right? And it was a major crime, and it changed a lot of accounting rules. And that was something else that I had studied in college, was accounting. I just couldn't study. I was naturally good at it, but I just couldn't study. And this teacher just wanted to like weed me out, and I was like, okay, I give. But I say that to say that your consciousness should be accounted for. Your atmosphere and the accounting of what that means to you are really important. I mean, so important. Is it not amazing? And I know it sounds crazy that I can sit here and be like, I haven't watched the news in over a month or a month and a half. I stopped counting now. And then I could talk to somebody else close to me, and they're just watching it all day long. They're just downloading that information. And I started off talking about sugar free TV, but let me just say what she was saying a little bit. I do encourage you guys to go watch her video, but she was just saying how like the mind is like a computer. We already know that the mind is the greatest computer. My boyfriend's mom has been trying to get us to watch The Great Hack. She is very conscious about the things that she watches, and she says that there's a lot of propaganda that has been encoded into our brain through our media. There's a lot of propaganda about the government, fear, and even just our health, right? There's a lot that is not true, but made to appear true due to repetitive messages that this is the truth, even though it's not steeped in truth or reality. Okay? I know it sounds crazy, but we will just say, like, for example, medications. Okay? I'm not telling anybody not taking medications, whatever, what have you. But I mean, my God, if medication could really cure, let's just take my high blood pressure. If all I had to do was pop a pill and not do anything, why are there so many dialysis centers? I'm so ignorant. I didn't know that the reason why there are so many dialysis centers is because your liver and kidney is affected a lot by high blood pressure and other type of things, as does the medication that you take to resolve those issues. And they beat up on your kidney and liver to that the function is so decreased that you got to go to dialysis then. But then we have this propaganda out there that tells us, take this pill and you're fine. And then they tell you, oh, you got to come in for a urinalysis every 6 months to be on this medication. What? Like, and that's not just me, that's a lot of people. And it's like, but then we don't question it because we trust the medical, should I say, like the Western medical community. And I know that people have disagreed with me on this channel for a long time about holistic health. I don't speak about holistic health from just reading it in a book. I could look in my family, the people who took holistic health by eating, drinking, vitamins, supplement, herbs, and did that as their priority versus the people who only took pharmaceuticals, their quality of life is night and day, hands down. I've seen it, I've seen it, and I've seen it. But where is all of that information in this evolved consciousness that we're supposed to be in? We're supposed to be in this information age. Why is that not pushed? Why does it take something like this for people to know that they should be taking vitamin C? Like, really? Really? Like, is that not like propaganda in a way? Like, is that not something clearly wrong with that? So now that we have this going on, we're going to push the vitamin C. You better believe that somebody planted that, so they knew that they about to push those cells. And if you don't believe that, that's on you. One of my first true talents in life, and I keep telling you guys this, is being a writer. I did, like, I told you guys the whole story about that, but writing is a natural gift. There's something about a story, right? And that's not just world phenomenon, but every story. There is, if you were to write a story, even if you were to script a movie, which is somebody else's delusion and atmosphere, okay? If you were to do that, you would have to have your people, your place, your characters. You would have to have a backstory for every person that was in the story so that when they intertwined together that it was believable. Whether their whole backstory got told or not, because if the character is flat, then it's boring or nobody believes it, right? If the character is too perfect, nobody cares, you know? But also, not only do you have to have like the tangible, what's happening here, then you also have to have like the subtext. There are things that are written for the context of the time, and then there are the things that are in the subtext that make you think beyond what you're actually seeing. Those are the best forms of writing, books, entertainment, what have you. It makes you think, oh, they didn't say that, but I can see it coming, or I can see this. And it's really important to recognize that in every area of our life. And I'm not just talking about what's on the news, I'm talking about even in our family situations. Okay? I Have you ever been in a situation before and you just got a feeling about something, but you didn't have proof? And you didn't really need proof because something was just in you telling you that there's just something here, right? There is just something about this situation that doesn't click right to me, doesn't feel right to me, and I am going to stand on that belief system. And I may not go in that direction. I may not partake with that person. I may not. There's something about it. So there had been like a lingering issue, and I feel like I was totally exonerated of it. You know, because intuition in today's time to me is more valuable than the media or into what somebody is feeding you in your ear. And I don't want to make this about the things that are on the news because that's going to come and go. But as long as you are here and we are here, we're still going to have to survive this thing with some joy, right? We are still living. Like I said from the beginning, we was going to be living and we are living, okay? So now it's like the daily question for me is, how am I going to live this? And it is racking my brain, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to come out ahead? How am I going to come out on top? But what is so crazy, I don't know why I can't get this thing out, is everybody that's close to me right now, and I was so afraid of people, like financially and stuff. Everybody that's close to me right now has had a tremendous financial blessing in the last 40 days. And I'm not talking about stimulus money. I'm talking about like lawsuits have come through, back old taxes have come through, a job bonus has come through, the money is still circulating around. Like I know that there are people that have lack, but I'm talking to you about like-minded people. I'm sorry if you are around like-minded people that are on the other side, and that's what I'm telling you to watch sugar-free TV, because there are some concepts that I don't explore. And I like how she even said there's some thoughts that she has that she thinks about them, but she doesn't let her mind go fully there, because there are a lot of books out there and you can delve into any kind of mental concept that is spiritual. And what a defining thing is that we are human, right? And there are things that we cannot see. There is context in this story of our life. I could sit here and, like, I don't know how do I want to phrase this? I could sit here and just do everything I want to do and goof off on my responsibilities. And that's just what I'm going to do. And I could just get away with that, right? But then there's a context about who and what else am I affecting with that and how long that is going to last. Just like the idea of somebody hurting your feelings. Like sometimes people can hurt your feelings and maybe you've taken it out of context, or maybe there was real subtext there, okay? Okay, like our insecurities and things like that, maybe, okay, that's true, but you don't know how hard that really hurts me, because there's a lot of different things, as my sister likes to say, that are packed in on that issue that you just touched on the surface. So, and that's something that this being isolated has taught me too, is that we're not all strengthening ourselves and we're not all strong. So if you are strengthening yourself and you are being strong, which a lot of us have to be, is to really be, I know it sounds so corny. It really does, because it sounds corny to me, girl. We really do have to be kind to people. Like, people are like in different frames of mind. They're in a panic. They're out of their normal, and they liable to go haywire. Okay, and that's just the reality that we're living in. You know how they say that Britney Spears circle 2008. A lot of people are there right now. And I say that to say, as we are going through we've got to recognize where our strengths are and where our weaknesses are and how we're going to manage those. And somebody I know they don't call weaknesses our opportunities within our character and how that is going to carry us forward. And I know I call this video reality bending because you really can build your reality. And what Shakira was saying was like, you can, like, she believes that there is like a crossing. Like, we know that we are here in this physical, and a lot of us do believe that there is something spiritual, but she believes there is a crossing that you get to get into a higher level of consciousness, right? And some people on the silly level, people call that like the law of attraction, but some people truly believe that there are spiritual laws. Okay, in a layman's way, my spiritual laws are the 10 Commandments. I really do believe, like, something as silly as don't commit adultery. Who would have known? How could they have known back then that if you sleep around, that could, like, that could really shorten your life? Who would have known that? Who even if you use protection, I'm not just talking about sexual diseases or whatever. I'm saying, like, somebody's ex-husband, you know what I'm talking about, can come for you one day because you out there sleeping around. How much stuff and lives and people have been ruined just because they could not be faithful to the people that they claim to be faithful for or to. When I look at these are concepts, we don't know why. We don't know why. It's like it's so complicated if you try to unpack what that really means. But my new old favorite saying is the truth is the light. When you add too much to and fro in your life, one of my favorite Bible scripture is a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, tossed to and fro like a rocking ship. It's like on a wave. It's true. But these are things that are not taught to us because we are taught to be in a system and to follow the rules. Nobody is really teaching you unless you have parents or the inclination to say, you know what, I need a little bit more than the things that I can see or maybe the things that I was taught. And me personally, I don't have the language for all those things. Like, I heard like y'all was like, oh, you're doing the shadow work now. And I'm like, shadow work? I didn't even like the way that sound, but it's like, we all have a dark side. We all have flaws. We all have things that, I'm looking at the time. We all have things within us that are imperfect. We all do. We all have things that embarrass us, okay? We all have things that are unstable, unsteady in our life that we don't know how to solidify. There could be some really deep rooted issues in people's lives, like so deep that if you knew the truth about them, your mouth would drop and you have to be like, clutch my pearls, and you would really mean it. And it's amazing. It's amazing the things that we can survive. Like being tenacious. Like I don't know. I don't know. I think I was born tenacious. I don't know. But you guys know that I'm kind of weird anyways because I feel like that we chose the time that we were born. I really do feel like that you could have been born at any time and yet here we are at this time. So my whole thing is like, why are we here now? I know my purpose is that when I do pass away, I do want the voice to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. I really, that is something I really want to do. Sometimes I don't know how to do that, but I feel like the beauty of it is in the journey. My sister kind of made me mad yesterday because I was like, I need to start volunteering. I need to volunteer at least once a month. I need to go out there and be on the front lines. I need to go be like a catalyst for change. She said, girl, the best volunteer you can do right now is volunteer that behind at home. And I was like, no. And I'm not here to debate that. But I'm not here to debate it. But I'm telling you, I don't feel like I'm called to do that. I feel like I would be doing myself a disservice if I just stayed home and ate popcorn and watched Netflix. And, I just don't feel like that's just me. And when you do have like those really deep feelings, and you know how life works, honestly, is that sometimes you don't know if your gut is right. Sometimes you could be like, okay, it's time for me to move. It's time for me to make a change. But maybe it's not really. Like your mind will play those tricks on you. And then there'll be some other issue out there in left field that your gut is telling you something about and you're sure about it. It has nothing to do with the other things that you're worried about. And then it's like you'll get that spiritual check mark in another area where you were absolutely right without proof. You know, I'll just say it like very pettily, like women who think they man cheating on them, girl. She don't know. She just woke up one day and she's like, I just think something going on. No proof at all. No proof. She just thinks something is going on, you know? Or like I don't know. Like it's like to me it happens like in so many different ways. Like sometimes I'll just want to call somebody out of the blue. Like I've got to have a conversation with this person, you know? I just got to do it. And when I do that, I normally find a very vulnerable person who has something to say and didn't have the person to say it to. And I feel, this may not be you, but I feel that there is something about that in my life that I have learned through experience in these last few years where you can be strong and be vulnerable, but the time has got to be right. It's like where the ocean meets the mountains. That's a very rare occurrence, you know, but it's got to be right, and then it's powerful, and you get like this big unveiling or aha moment. Um, but I can do that because my reality allows me to believe that. My brain allows me to believe and to know that life is more than just what I see. I have been through situations that I never thought that I would come through, right? And as the old folks say, and he hasn't failed me yet. So I have programmed my mind that way. Like I said, my boyfriend's mom wants us to watch The Great Hack so badly. All about, just like how you can hack anything. And if you think about it, like this is like really silly but deep to me. You know how we all know about algorithms now, right? Like I know that if I'm shopping on Saks and I'm looking for shoes and if I click the share, even if I don't even click the share, like when he share my cookies, that those shoes or whatever it is gonna follow me, it's gonna trail me. I'm gonna get all this stuff that I've been looking at. Like, no, even if I'm trying to take my mind off of that, like, nope, I don't need the shoes now. I'm going on over here to like watch something about some yoga or some blood pressure or something like that, and I'll be god darn gone. There go the same advertisement for these shoes, and now they got like a little discount there, or get them here, and okay, that is an algorithm at play in a very silly way. It is a very powerful thought process to think that there are algorithms that are following you and your mind, and if you are not conscious of your own consciousness, that you will overlook it. Like my sister loves the Matrix, and she's always like, "You better look for the glitches." She's like, and for me, a glitch is if I'm in a panic, if I'm in a fear, if I'm angry, that's a glitch in my system because I have programmed my reality to tell me that the best me is a calm and believing me, is a faith-filled me, is a productive me, is a rested me. I cannot be rested and productive and faith-filled and peaceful if I'm fearful and in a panic. I just can't do it with you. Now you can do it with you. You can do it with you all day long, but I challenge you to think, what does the fear and the panic create for you? Some people say fear motivates them. Like back in the days, like in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s, the celebrities would be like, oh, I was poor, and that has always thrived me forward so that I can never be poor again, like, Gone with the Wind, things like that. And then you start seeing that kind of rhetoric change where people felt like I was always talented, it was just unrecognized, or I needed to be at the right place at the right time, or I needed to come into contact with this person, or I didn't even need to come into contact with them. We just got together and worked together and made something happen. But then it's like, seriously, 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 seriously. We have all of this information out there, right? But we spend so much time building other people's ideas. We spend so much time buying into other people's fantasy instead of living our own dreams. And I'm not saying they have to be big dreams. Some people really just want to have a husband and well taken care of children. But everything that they do is far away from that because their mind has been hacked with the slut mentality or whore mentality, a bad boy mentality. So they can't even do what their dream really is. Okay. So you guys did not chat with me that much right now. I've been on here for 44 minutes. There's just like so much I could say. I only have like a few minutes until I have to get to work. But I have always been a thinking person. It is nothing but the grace of God that I'm at this time in my life able to be a fun person, to make fun of myself, to go through the emotions of life. Like, because for a long time, like, I just felt like I couldn't have emotions. Oh, AJ, where you came from? You didn't even say anything. Hey, Avril. Um, for a long time, though, I feel like I couldn't have emotions because they would always send me out of control. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting to know, like, one of my boyfriend's business partners slash lightweight friends, like, somebody who always adds comedy. He said that for the first time in his life, I'm going to try to read you guys' comments too. He said for the first time in his life, he could look over at the person in the car next to him and know that they all had the same problems and the same worries. And I never thought about it like that. Like, but then as time goes on, you recognize, okay, we may have started at the same point, but we're not all going to finish at the same time or in the same way. I like how my little Christian radio station, and I hadn't been in my car like for like a month, like no lie. I had not, like, I need to drive my car this week because I went like, I don't know, a month without driving. And but I keep my car on the Christian radio station. It's real lightweight, motivational, and going back to language. Sometimes we don't know how to express ourselves, but if we keep our mind, our consciousness clear about what we are feeling and what we are seeing and what that means to us, it doesn't mean that we have to go and buy all in. As long as you're able to recognize it, a lot of people feel like that's what meditation and prayer is about. Is getting to like a clearing in your head where you're no longer thinking and you can hear something outside of yourself. That will come to you in different ways as long as you open up your consciousness and say, you know what, I don't know what's going on with me, but I don't like it, or I need some answers. And it was like so like concise. It's a very upbeat radio station, and it's like, right now we're in a marathon, and we don't know what marker we're on. I was like, oh my God. Like, as somebody who is just training for a half marathon, and I'm tracking my miles, right? If you have ever like ran a race or you want to run a race, you gotta know your time. Your time is everything. Like, how you gonna pace your breath, like when to go fast and when to slow up. Like me, when I am gonna do the half marathon. I am going to do it. I know that I need to run a 13.1K in less than 3 hours, really 2 hours and 45 minutes. I started to learn so much more information. Like, most big races have pace groups where even if you wanted to just finish the race, you can be with this pace group and they will pace you throughout the race. As long as you follow that flag, then you have a direction to go in. But if you would have put me on a marathon and I had to run, now full marathon is like 26.1. If you had to put me on a marathon and you just sit me out there running and I didn't see anybody cheering me along, there was no water, there was no, like, I don't know where the end is. I don't know. I don't have my little Fitbit watch. I don't know what time it is. And y'all harassed my sister because she told me that she was sending me a Fitbit and I want it. So, but if I don't have my little Fitbit on, doing my heart rate and everything like that, do you know how insane I will be? Do you know, like, how am I going to finish that race? Like really? I'm just going to be out here just running this thing. And I feel like, a month ago was running hard because we thought 2 weeks we're out of this. Oh, 2 more weeks we out. Now we started March the 13th, and I don't even know what day it is. We're about all like legit. Like we're coming up on our 2 month mark, and we still have the same level of nothingness, right? For saying for me and my personal life. Anyways, I said that little tangent to say I would have never chose those words. I would have never have placed that concept together. But just by me going in my car, turning it on to crank it up, and I swear I was in the car before a few minutes, and within the first 45 seconds, that's what I hear. I'm like, you can't tell me that this thing is not following rules that are unwritten when it concerns learning and solidifying your spiritual self. There are things that work. Like ask and you shall receive. I really like the whole idea of when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I know it sounds stupid, but I've experienced it so many times in my life, and I don't know. I just want to share that. Is that, it might be weird that I just want to share that, but I would rather share that than a lot of the other stupid things I share with y'all. I just, I find sharing the stupid things, but I am definitely a thinking person. I do want to do a book club on this channel. I feel like I'm doing my channel a disservice for not having a book club. So, Sugar Free TV, she had the Isaiah effect. Now, look, I don't know though, because I think I would have to do like a book club on like Patreon or something, because I know, okay, so she was just talking about the Isaiah effect. I'm going to tell you something that's very controversial, but that has been presented to me twice without me asking. And, okay, let me just say it. So I do know that there were books that were left out of the Bible intentionally. Some people use that to discredit the entire Bible. I did not know that until recently. I just didn't know that. I want to, I want to get a little bit more insight, and there's, information out there. But she is like really pitching this book, The Isaiah Effect. I like things that make me think about things that I never thought about before, and you know how that works in my tangible life, because people think that learning is stupid if it's not like career based. My mouth is so dry, y'all, like so dry. It helps you to unlock your creativity, like I'm shaking my head as if you can see me. I've read A New Earth and A Power of Now. I think I want to reread them both, um, you know, but I do want some new information, you know. I'm trying to like make sure I don't miss you guys' chats and things, because it's really powerful to be able to come off these screens, okay? These screens, every screen you see, even my little screen right here, is somebody else putting on something. Like, it's somebody else's agenda, it's somebody else's message. It's really important to come away from the screen, whether that's just cooking dinner, going for a walk, exercising, I don't know, something away from the screens, because it's too many algorithms at play. Okay, let me just say it like that. There are too many algorithms at play to allow your mind to be hacked and to believe falsehoods. Now I only have a few minutes, right? And I'm gonna go. I don't really talk about I am learning. I don't know what that means. um, I never talk about race on my channel, right? Because I have a different view of race. But I knew when this whole thing happened, they was going to have some race baiting stories right after. I already knew it. If you're already afraid, let's give you something to be angry about. Now we're about to race bait everybody. You're going to be mad at the Asians and black people. Y'all need to get mad too, because they're still after you. I take issue with that. And if you don't see that, I don't watch the news. I do catch headlines, and I do love Instagram, right? I like Instagram because of people's passion. Like, it's just photos. I learned to guard myself from negativity of others and just stay in a place of gratitude in the midst of chaos. I like that, Miss Fun. That's really good. You do have to guard yourself. You do. Isn't that powerful though, to know that you can guard yourself? That's powerful to know. And in a loving way you can guard yourself. In a healing way you can guard yourself. And you can also guard yourself without anger. You know something that really pisses people off about me is I do this a lot. Oh my God. You want to talk about something that makes people upset? Well, you just shoo them away. They get, and that's not my intention. Oh my God. I think this is going to be my new greeting too to people. Is this, which is so weird because before this even happened, I saw a man walking around fully covered like a monk, and he did this, and that's gonna be me. Um, but it's something about being able to dismiss things. And you know what's so crazy? Just how people can dismiss my channel, right? I don't know how many people are in here because I gotta go. Just how people can dismiss my channel, dismiss my words, whatever. They also have, I have the right, and they have the right to dismiss so many other things. Now's the time where you can truly see what people really create for themselves. That's right. What can you really create for yourself? That is really true. So, as long as you guys, you guys have heard me out. I do want to do a book club. I don't know how controversial I want the book club to be. Like I want to have like new thought process, right? And to really just I don't know. Like to share higher level thought, right? I don't want my screen time to just always be something stupid. Like we all have our silly moments. We need that. We need to laugh. We need to joke. We need to have a drink if we want to, girl. I just believe that. I just believe that. I'm sorry. I believe that you can have a wedding celebration just for being in union with yourself, okay? That's just me. You know, we do need that. But then we also need to feed ourselves and to strengthen ourselves for what is next to come, right? And that is like the worrying part. Anyways, 11:53. I gotta get to work, you guys. Can you believe it? Oh, pray that I'm able to get all my work done, like all the hectic part of my work done within 5 hours. That would make me so happy and relaxed, and not be like I don't mind working, but just not being so hectic. Somebody tagged me in a post or something. I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you guys are doing today. Hopefully, you got something out of this message. You guys didn't talk to me a lot, which is kind of weird. I'm like, y'all should talk to me. I thought I was gonna finish all of my bottles of waters. Okay, come back soon. That's all AJ had for me today. Is okay, come back soon. mm, I don't know. Does anybody live in Kansas City? Because I'm going there next week. So I don't know. I might be able to come to y'all next week. I'll be in the hotel room, which is. I am happy though because I'm thankful that I'm able to do what I want to do in the ways that I'm able to do it in. Not saying I don't want to do a whole lot more, but I know Kansas City is famous for barbecue. I'm not a big barbecue person. Maybe I'm going to look up some restaurants to see where I would really want to go. You know, I'll probably have to go out around lunchtime. I don't want to use any of my time off to have this little trip or whatever. So that's going to be interesting. I don't know that much about Kansas City, but I tell you what, y'all, just you are beaming. Girl, I am so tired. I'm like, I really am. Like, I am really trying to find my stride in this. And it is challenging. Like people do not respect you when you work from home. I'm talking about the people that live with you. When you work from home, they want you to cook something, they want you to clean up something, they gonna ask you questions. They gonna see you over there just killing it on the damn laptop. You just killing it, killing it, killing it, killing it, killing it. And here they come with the TV on, you know. I love your lives where you take us your like these sit downs too. Yeah, I live fuller, love fuller. I like taking y'all places too. Of course, I always have to take y'all by myself. And then the Wi-Fi situation, you know, it's always kind of dicey because I almost took y'all somewhere today, and then I was like, oh no, I really want to talk to you guys without being embarrassed about talking, you know. But then now the people are being so I have to go anyway because I gotta. Oh no, I'm gonna go. Enjoy. Everybody hit the like button. You don't have to hit the like button. I enjoy you, Avril, just for showing up. Like I'm starting to recognize like some of the name like Lakeisha. I'm not gonna forget Live Fuller, Love Fuller, even though, you know, she says she doesn't get to comment a lot. I enjoy this little community. I really do. It like I don't know. I do know. It's like, what am I getting out of this? It's a way to express myself, and I would encourage anybody to start a little YouTube channel, a blog, or whatever. Like your thoughts are valuable, even if you don't think the same way that I think. As long as you're able to put them out there and process them in the spirit of connecting with other people in a way that's gonna grow you all, I think that that's the way we should be anyways. In a civilized society, we should be collaborating. We should really be a lot more liberated and free and full of imagination, you know. If I had my costumes, which they're all in New Orleans, y'all would be seeing me in different costumes. Maybe I should just go ahead and order a flower crown or something. You know, just be whatever I want to be. And I say that in a half joking way, but in a real serious way is if you don't decide what you want to be, you will be put on the wrong track. Okay? As they say, on a marathon without even knowing where you are in the race. Oh my goodness. Let me go. It's 11:57. Thank you guys so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. I have no idea what I'm going to do with all these flowers. I'm going to tell my boyfriend to stop buying them. Who would have known that I would have been in this situation for so long? There's like a lot of different layers. They're all the way down here and up. I'm thinking about spray painting them or something and doing like a little box, like little, I don't know, something that you would put in the bathroom. Just something, you know. I like fresh flowers, though, even though they die, because you know what? There is beauty in it all. And they're even more beautiful when they're like, you know, young and stuff like that. I like the process. I think I've told you guys my flower thing. Maybe I'm a flower child just a little bit. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I got to go get to work and enjoy the rest of your day.